You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Nerdcast on the Angry Marks Podcast Network with your host, Will Huckabee and Mika Villas.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is that time of the week. It is time for the Wrestling Nerdcast. Once again, this show is brought to you specifically by the Angry Marks Podcast Network. Be sure to check them out on iTunes. Check us out on AngryMarksPodcast.com. Go check out the YouTube page. Also, this podcast is brought to you by our good sponsors at Indie Customs. Be sure to check them out for not only your wrestling needs, but any kind of t-shirt needs or whatever. And saying a huge shout out to our friends over there at Pro Wrestling World. Be sure to check out their Facebook page. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, I'm your host. So many monikers, so many titles. I'm not even going to go through it all this week. Just to let you know, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I am the new Firestar Pro Wrestling Zone 1 champion. I am the Mid-Atlantic Bully, the incredible Will Huckabee. And as usual, I come and do this podcast, and every week, Batman has Robin, Michael has Tito, Dorothy has Toto, me, myself, I have the lover of waffles, the voice of the speech impediment, the idolater of affection, the aberration of whatever you want to call it, of love. She's Cupid's favorite commentator. She's one half of the world's cutest commentary team, which means you can check her out every month at Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment or at Mucha Lucha Atlanta. She's also a co-host for the FOW Wrestling Podcast found on Podbean. She is my homie. She is Miss Hashtag What That Mouth Do. My co-host, my ace boom coon, Mika Villas. What's up, girl?
Oh my God, you put me over this week. I ran out of fingers to count all the names. I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna have to get ambidextrous and put my leg up and whatever so I can count on my toes all the names you're throwing my way. I mean, I'm good. How are you? It's snowing here in Georgia. That's how I am, for real.
Well, you know what? I've had my share of snow for one winter time. Was in Atlanta earlier last week, and then was in West Virginia. And not even gonna lie, it went from 65 degrees at 4:30 afternoon to 9 degrees at 10:30 that night. So in the span of 7 hours, it dropped 60 degrees. And not only that, but there was snow and there was ice, and I was miserable. And I'm fine. You can keep all of that snow and ice right there in Georgia with you.
I don't want it. I didn't ask for this. Hot Atlanta. I'm looking for my receipt because this is some bullcrap, man. I will take this back to the store and get a refund. I expected warm temperatures. Maybe not, the 80s and 90s I was used to in Florida, but this is crazy. And the crazier part for me is people are still driving like idiots. It is snowing. The road is wet. It is 18 degrees outside. And they're going to just speed they got snow tires on. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, most of the people, what was it, 80% of people that live in Atlanta aren't even from Atlanta. So, out of those 80% of people, I'm assuming that 60% of them come from the Northeast.
Here's hoping. And again, they can come from the Northeast, but these are not Northeast streets. Atlanta does not have salt trucks, guys. Last time they had a major storm, they put down wood chips. Wood does not melt ice. I'm sorry. These people are not the smartest of the bunch.
I'm not even going to go there.
Yes.
They put down wood chips?
Yes. They put down wood chips. Mother Nature was in a litter box or something. Bad girl. I'm going to put these chips down to soak up this water you put down. No, you're going to kill everybody.
Well, as usual, we have our producer for the podcast joining us tonight, the incredible, the often imitated but never duplicated, CW. What's up, C-Dub?
Not much tonight. Not much at all.
Did you get a chance to watch any wrestling this weekend?
Man, I have been so busy this weekend. I have sit here and I have been doing graphics for different wrestling companies. I have really not had a chance to watch anything. I heard there was something going on with PWX this weekend, but other than that, I really don't know.
I'm about to say, man, you've been actually pretty busy, man. You shoot me and Mika messages and stuff, and graphics that you've done for not only other wrestlers and other wrestling companies, but you actually made a pretty cool graphic for this show right here. I enjoyed it. It was like probably the only picture that I actually have with Mika. I liked it. What'd you think, Mika?
I knew where the picture came from. It's pretty funny that it says, watching, what does it say about watching the world burn or whatever? Because the day we took that picture, it literally was like hot as Satan balls here in Atlanta. It was probably like 100 degrees outside, and we had a venue that we were at for a show, and it was like 180 inside. So, yeah, that was pretty funny. I was like, damn, that was a day I had sweated out all my makeup. I was in a tank top. I felt like I looked my absolute craziest, and I was like, let's take a picture with Huckabee. And I was like, nobody will ever see this picture. It'll never see the light of day. It's fine. And so when I got the picture, I was like, damn it, that picture of all pictures.
I remember when we took that picture because we took it right at AWE's first ever Bill and Ted's Excellent Tag Team Tournament. Yeah. I remember that and stuff. And you was like, oh, let's take a picture. And I was like, all right. And you had no makeup on.
Zero. My face melted. Like the Wicked Witch that I am, it was like somebody had thrown water on me and I melted. My whole face. There was no makeup. There was nothing. I was just like, again, I looked at the picture and I was like, yeah, nobody will ever see this. It's good. It's cool. It's just me and Huckabee. We'll never do anything together. And, fast forward years later, here we are. And there I am.
Fast forward 2 years later, and now you're the receiver of all things unsolicited.
Yeah.
Speaking of unsolicited, I know you people don't really care. Mika, I know that you have one of these, and for all of our listeners and fans, we're talking on Skype right now, and Mika can see me through the video chat. You people can't, not yet anyway. But I'm chilling with this really sweet Indie Customs cup. Insulated cup, and right now I'm drinking. It makes me feel like a really good drink holder because right now I'm drinking Seagram's Distillers Reserve Gin and cranberry juice for this podcast.
Oh my gosh! I got an apple and some water, and this one's going straight to the gin. My God!
Well, I'm a gin kind of guy. First of all, usually I drink Tanqueray, but I didn't have the money to buy Tanqueray, so I have Seagram's. I had to take it back to the hood and get Seagram's, but it tastes really good. It actually holds the temperature at the right temperature with this cup and stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, be sure, hit up Indie Customs, get the insulated cup, coffee cup, hot, cold, whatever. I guess it's one of those, I don't know what they call them, igloo cups or whatever they call them, where they're super cold or super hot for hours. This really, really works.
That is the truth. I have the same cup, and I left something in that cup. It was alcohol and with ice, and I usually don't like ice. That ice, I swear, lasted a day and a half because I left it in the house and I didn't even remember to drink it. I still had ice. It kept it that cold. I was like, wow, this is sickening great. But I wanted the ice to melt and it didn't. So I was like, crap, this is a good damn cup. So everybody get the cup, pick up the merch. I picked up some more merch while I was out and about this weekend. And again, high quality stuff for all your needs, whether it be wrestling related or not. You can get your logo. You can get your stuff from Indie Customs.
Now, speaking of this weekend and stuff, I want to just give you a quick rundown of my day because we got to see each other this past week. Thursday night was at Face to Face Wrestling, myself versus Joe Black and stuff. First ever match. I think we stole the house. I think we stole the show. I think we tore the house down, had a great match. Went from Atlanta. Friday I was in West Virginia defending my AIWF World Heavyweight title and my AIWF Mega Heavyweight title and stuff. Worked this kid from Ohio. Had a really good match. Saturday, I was in Pelham, North Carolina, defending my Worldwide Grand Prix title against Liam Cross. Once again, still the champion. And then Sunday, Firestar Pro Wrestling presents Zone 1, which is kind of like their student show, whatever. They really taped that, it's kind of like their TV show. I guess Zone 1's like their TV show. And add another belt to my collection. So, I'm on a gold rush, Tamika. I'm trying to collect all the titles.
I kind of like that, the gold rush. I mean, you're picking up titles and left and right more than most people on like a chain game pick up trash or whatever. You're just like snatching them out of the air.
I'm
It's amazing.
I'm about to change my name. If I can get like 1 or 2 more titles, I'm gonna change my name. I'm gonna change, or actually, I'm not gonna change it, but I'm gonna add a new nickname and call myself Huck the Mo Dragon. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
No.
Well,
Just
speaking
don't.
of speaking of just don't, ladies and gentlemen, it's our time for that segment. I like it. I don't know if she likes it, but this time, this is a brief time where we give you inside the mind of Mika Villas. A moment inside the mind of Mika. Here she goes, where she gets to talk about whatever she wants for a couple of minutes, so we can go ahead and get out of her system. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mika Villas.
Thank you very much, Will. I'd like to thank the Academy. No, okay, wait, no, I'm not giving speeches. Let me tell you about my weekend in a nutshell. Yes, I got to see you at Face to Face Wrestling. You and Joe did have an excellent match. But let's fast forward to Saturday and Sunday in North Carolina. PWX put on a tournament, the X16 tournament. This tournament from top to bottom was fantastic. Usually tournaments, when they do more than one night, it gets a little bit much. It's just like, it drags. This thing kicked off with a bang and did not stop. Night 1 was absolutely positively nuts. Check it out on High Spots, guys, because it is unbelievable, the action that you see in the tournament matches, and it was just capped off with a DLC, Ducks, Ladders, and Chairs match between the Syndicate, Timmy Luretton, and TJ Boss versus the Ugly Ducklings, Lance Lude, Coach Mikey, and of course Rob Killjoy. This match was phenomenal, but there was an injury. TJ Boss went through 4 tables at the end of this match, and we're at the end of the night was rushed to a medical facility for evaluation. No bullshit, y'all. I'm saying it because I helped load the man in. And he is suffering, looks like, from a L4 vertebrae break. So right now, if you go to Indie Customs, there are shirts being sold, said the boss deserves it. These are to go and help TJ. Not only, of course, he's not going to be wrestling, but he won't be able to do his regular job. The man has a lovely wife and family, and, it's always good to give back. So if nothing else, from the performance from that night, from X16 Night 1, if you've never seen TJ Boss, I'm telling you, check out the video on High Spots and then go to Indie Customs and pick up a shirt. Well worth the cause and supporting someone who literally put his life and body on the line for our entertainment. Fast forward to night 2. Night 2 was really interesting. I got to see again Juice Robinson, who was, of course, in New Japan World, whatever. I can't say the letters. I'm bad. But anyway, Juice Robinson in the tournament. And also Joey Mercury was in the house. I talked about this a little on social media with someone else. So if you stalk me or follow my social media, you'll see the video. I like Joey Mercury. Somebody said he was just there for a paycheck. Juice Robinson, however, was more than just a paycheck. Juice actually performed. He was really, really good. Really, really kind and sweet guy. At the end of the night, he did duck lips with me when we did pictures. So that was pretty cool. But this tournament, again, shouts out and mad props to everybody associated with PWX. They put on a hellified show. And if they're putting on another show, it won't be a tournament, but they're going to do a 30-man over-the-top rope battle royal coming up, I want to say in March. I don't have the exact date, but check them out on PWX on Facebook, pwxpro.com. This is good entertainment, guys. Well worth the drive. I always say go support independent wrestling. This is a company that you definitely want to get behind. There are lots of companies all over. Get behind some of them. One of them, it doesn't matter, but check out these 2 nights of the X16 tournament. You will not be disappointed. Boom. That's a sum of mine.
Well, I will tell you what. I've seen highlights and stuff, and I've seen, the video for the injury, and it's speaking about TJ Boss and stuff, who is a sponsored athlete by Indie Customs. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure to go by Indie Customs, buy some TJ Boss stuff, support him and stuff for his injury. Huge, I'm pretty sure he has a huge medical bill right now. But I saw that injury. But, wrestling's wrestling. And so something that really stuck to me was, tell me about this match. Or not even the match. I just want to know about the introductions with David Starr and White Mike. Because I've seen the video and I've seen the reactions.
So David Starr of, international fame. David Starr has been everywhere. David Starr is the king of taunts. He has a ring introduction that is literally on the back of a shirt that covers the shirt from the nape of your neck all the way down to basically the bottom of your ass. The shirt has all his nicknames on it, and it's just a wonderfully long, entertaining entrance. He calls himself the cream of your coffee, your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, the Jewish Cannon, Davey Wrestling, Mr. 104-Minute Man. Lots and lots of monikers. Well, he faced in this tournament White Mike. White Mike came out and said, you know what? I can do it too. He broke out some loose leaf paper, and front and back of the loose leaf paper, there were, I want to say 34 names. There were names like the master of the Plan B. And if you don't know what Plan B is, y'all, go look it up. It's hilarious that he says he's the master of the Plan B. He called himself just like the Redbone Thriller, Amber Young.
I'm about to say my favorite one was when he said he was Amber Young's favorite wrestler and Brandy Rhodes' favorite wrestler.
Right. Okay. Exactly. He didn't say it. He wrote it down, and the poor ring announcer had to read these names out. But amazing. Amber Young is, of course, married to Anthony Henry. She's part of the Lethal Lovers. Mike and Anthony have had a feud, and Mike has, quite frankly, kind of stalked Amber back and forth. It's pretty funny, but he gets his ass kicked. But it's kind of funny. But literally, David Starr sat down and just waited for these 34, 38, 850 names to be read off. And Mike, the crowd loved it. Every person, man, woman, and child. There was a name in these introductions for everybody to kind of laugh and joke along with.
Let's say, what was it, negative 5-star king or something like that?
The negative 5-star king. I mean, again, White Mike is entertaining from top to bottom, and just the creativity in these ring names was just amazing. So I loved it. Again, there was nothing bad on these shows. Night 1, I really didn't know how they were going to top it with Night 2. I thought Night 2 was going to be kind of like a blow-off. Like, yeah, we lit you on fire Night 1. Nothing we can do Night 2. I was wrong. Thankfully, I was wrong. James Drake pulled this entire tournament out, came out the winner. He had a great matches all throughout the night.
Shouts out to James Drake.
Yeah, he's awesome and scary as hell. The man scares me. I've seen him at several shows. I took a soft chop actually Night 2. Thankfully, he didn't really chop me because I told him these were bought and paid for. I didn't want him breaking them. I didn't have a receipt, so he was nice enough not to kill me.
Well, here's my question: did you get my T-shirt?
No.
Yeah, well, now you're about to get chopped. See what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? I asked for one thing. I was like, hey, Q, grab me a shirt. Grab me a merch shirt from Juice Robinson. Can you please do that for me? Because, the ones that they sell in Japan, an extra large in Japan is a large in American size, and I wear a 2X in American, at the very least. So that would be like Godzilla size in Japan. And all I wanted was a shirt. I don't like to go through hot spots. I like to give my money directly to the wrestler and stuff, so nobody else makes money off of them. And all I asked Mika for was a T-shirt, and she promised me, "I'm gonna get you a shirt, Will, 2X."
I got a little starstruck with Juice. He was really, really nice, really, really colorful, and I totally kind of blanked out. I literally I marked out. Night 1, I walked over to him and I asked him something and I was like, and I walked away. So Night 2, I went back and I apologized for my inappropriate behavior. And he was like, oh, it's okay. And we talked for a little bit. And again, I just kind of fangirled out. And I'm a natural blonde and you didn't call me and tell me to remind me. That's your fault. You know better.
Anyway, speaking of no one better, speaking of starstruck, tonight's guest is going to kill you guys, and we'll have tonight's guest right after these words from our sponsors. Indie Custom sponsored athlete Amber Young works with her local YMCA and A Place to Dream, building beds for children in low-income families.
A Place to Dream is a program that the Family YMCA of Greater Augusta is doing. The CSRA has many wonderful social services agencies helping low-income families obtain housing, but few help these families turn their housing into functional homes.
Consequently, residents are forced to sleep on the floor, air mattresses, sofas, or crowded into a bed with other family members. Recent studies link poor sleep with cognitive, physical, and even behavioral health issues. People who do not get enough quality sleep have poor concentration, weaker immune systems, and an increased risk of obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease.
Research has found that children with proper bedding sleep an average of 20 minutes more each night than children who have unfavorable sleeping arrangements. That's more than 2 hours per week. The Family YMCA staff and volunteers are going into these low-income housing authorities and building the beds, making the beds, and just getting to know the families, all for the children. We currently have done 3 different days and delivered over 120 plus beds for the children.
Please remember, shirts are only $20 and all proceeds will go to A Place to Dream. Make sure to send your payments to www.paypal.me/indiecustoms and remember to include your sizes and your addresses plus $3 for shipping. And thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back once again. This is the Wrestling Nerdcast. I'm your host, Will Huckabee, with my co-host, Mika Villas. And once again, this podcast is brought to you by our sponsors, Indie Customs. Be sure to check them out on Facebook. Be sure to check them out on Twitter at Indie Customs. And once again, send a huge shout out to our friends at Pro Wrestling World. Be sure to check them out on Facebook for all of your pro wrestling info and needs and matches and stuff like that. Check them out. Give them a like, whatever the case may be. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is very personal to me because I've seen this person grow in the professional wrestling business. He was formerly known as Blake Broadway, happy-go-lucky guy who couldn't do a shoulder tackle and broke my nose in the great state of Illinois. From Virginia, trained in Virginia at VCW with my homie Phil Brown and a couple other people I know. He is a military vet. Now you can catch him every week on Booker T's Reality of Wrestling in Houston, based out of Houston, Texas. He is the Reality of Wrestling TV champion. Ladies and gentlemen, he is dynamite, but I still wouldn't trust him to do a shoulder tackle. I don't know if Booker T has fixed that yet. Ladies and gentlemen, he is my homie. He is a longtime friend. He is very outspoken, and I know you're going to enjoy him. Once again, this is J.J. Blake. What's up?
Hi. So, no. First off, let's talk about this shoulder tackle, because I'm sick of you telling everybody that I can't do a shoulder tackle. We got to stop this right here, right now.
Come on, man. This is like the greatest, longest rib I've ever done on anybody, man.
Nah. You stop telling people I don't know how to do a shoulder tackle. All right, we're gonna finish this right here today, 2018, January 16th. It dies.
But I'm saying, how is people going to know that you talked to me or that I actually delivered the message if they don't say, "Oh yeah, hey, Huckabee told me to tell you told me not to take any shoulder tackles from you"? Like, how is
now,
she going to
let me tell
they
you why
actually
that
talk
makes
to
you
me?
mad though. Because I'll be completely if I don't see you, I don't think about it, right? Obviously, I ain't waking up every day. I can't do shoulder tackles. I broke Will's nose. So when someone randomly brings it up, I'm always like, what? Oh, you mother, it takes me a second every time. So you can guess. Whenever you tell somebody to tell me that, I sit there and think to myself, what are they talking about? Oh, that mother conductor every single time, bro. I'm just letting you know. It'll give you some night, keep you warm at night. It'll keep you warm at night, knowing that you at any given time can disrupt my day. Just like that.
Oh, it's so great. Look, Mika, I know Mika's wondering right now about this shoulder tackle, right, Mika?
You gotta, please, gentlemen, you have to tell this shoulder tackle story. I felt for a second there that JJ was gonna jump through the screen and shoulder tackle you right in front of me, just so I could watch and say, well, shit, it looks good from here.
Well, no, okay. Here's what happened.
You tell your
We
side first, Will.
okay. I'm gonna tell the truth, man. I'm gonna tell the truth. We
Tell the truth. Oh, okay.
myself, Joe Black, Evolve Wrestling star Jace Kincaid, and former NWA Continental Champion Lance Erickson. We were all going to Indiana for a show. JJ
Illinois.
jumped.
It was Illinois.
Illinois, I'm sorry, we're going to Illinois for a show. JJ jumped in the car. We get to the venue, they put me and JJ in a match. There was like a tryout dark match, whatever the case may be. So we're going to do the match, and I'm not even going to lie, the ropes were really, really bad. And we had called a spot where he was going to do like a springboard clothesline while I'm sitting down. You know, I'm sitting down looking at him. He gives me like a springboard kind of like sit-out clothesline, where the ropes were so horrible that when he goes and hits the ropes, he slips. When he jumps and he turns, he slips. And I see it in his face that, oh, God, this is about to be bad. And at the last second, like, he tries to, like, get out of the way, and I think I try to get out of the way, but we're both going the same way, and, like, bam, shoulder, right in the face, in the nose. I mean, immediately breaks my nose. Blood starts pouring. I can't breathe. And he's just like, oh, my God, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. Much to JJ's credit, he is a total professional. He really did take care of me besides that. Some guys will try to be funny and blow you up because you really can't breathe with a broken nose. But JJ didn't. He took care of me for the rest of the match. We got to the back, you know what I'm saying? Because I've already been through the situation several times, you know, I reset my nose, and that was it. But I liked the clown because it was supposed to be a clothesline, but he slipped because the ropes were so shitty, and it turned into a shoulder tackle dead to the face. Is that not the truth?
It took you how many years? It took you 3 years to tell the story the right way.
It's been like 4 or 5 years. I tell people the story, but I just tell them to also say that you can't do a shoulder tackle because I know it's going to get on your nerves.
Well, I can't complain about that. You know, I broke your nose, so I mean, you know,
exactly.
You know, that's fair.
A
little bit. I was broken though. You said it was broken like 2 more times before that. So.
Yeah, it was. I had broken it like 4 times before that, so it's like whatever.
So basically, he got away with hitting you in the face, and you not doing a damn thing about it. All right,
Ooh,
I love him already.
Ooh, yes,
I'm just saying. That's my new favorite wrestler right there, JJ Bliss.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's get let's go ahead and get into some serious business and stuff, man. Because right now you reside in Texas, but you broke out in Virginia. Am I correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Now, and also, like, so how hard was it? Because I know when I met you, you were in the military and stuff. How difficult was it to be in the military and trying to get your name out there, being a professional wrestler?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. It was not that difficult. However, I believe that a lot of that is because of me personally, as the kind of person I am. Not necessarily, the military is easy, because I don't want people getting the wrong idea, you know, going and doing it and thinking it's easy, or you know, thinking, oh, you ain't struggling, nothing like that. You know, I worked, and it wasn't one of those things. I was in the military pushing paperwork, you know, working the 8-hour day, 2-hour gym session in the morning, 1 hour. Well, none of that nonsense either. I was, you know, working on airplanes, mission essential personnel down here in Texas right now. We're having a crazy freeze right now, and ain't nobody on the road. If this is if I was in the military, I'll be at work right now. You know, turning wrenches and stuff, because I don't care about that kind of stuff. But you know, I definitely I got it done. But it wasn't. I had to work hard. I had to be that guy that everyone wanted to do the favor for. So, hey, man, you know, I got this opportunity in Canada. You know, can I go up there? You know, you know what? Hey, you're here literally every single day, and you get crapped on every single day. We'll let you go. You know, I just worked hard. I worked so hard and made sure I was personable, so people wouldn't mind, you know, allowing me to chase my dreams, because you know the military came first, obviously. And so after that first year of being in the business and training and whatnot, after that first year, you know, I joined the military, and that's when it became like, all right, got income, I got a job, but I also got super important responsibilities. And it wasn't just doing the job. It was like security clearances and stuff, and, you know, convincing the big man upstairs, hey, can I deploy you? Is this wrestling going to be an issue? So there's a lot of things at play, and you know, in hindsight, man, it really worked out because I've been through a lot of different bases since then, and you know, a lot of commanders are different. They're, well, you know what? But what if you break your leg? Then what? I'm like, what if I get in a car accident? I've been not even car accidents, but I've been in two legit car accidents, spaced like 10 years apart, and then as far as just like deer, and so I don't consider those accidents. Whenever I see a deer, I yell GTA and I run it over because I'm not gonna let deer fly on my windshield and kill me. So you know, I ain't even counting deer, but if I just count accidents, I've been in two like legit car accidents. And I've injured myself like a half a time, maybe one time. You know, and that was like a freak accident. You know, the car accident, I was just sitting there chilling, and some chick rear-ended me. You know, so it's like, you know, like I am more at risk of getting an injury coming to work in my vehicle than I am doing wrestling. Like, you know, I know I take care of myself, and I don't got one of them little dinky little fragile bodies. So like, and that was, you know, half the body. No, not saying, you know, no one here on this podcast has a fragile body, you know, because they have body parts that break 4 times. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that, you know, if your body right is I won't get into that until you made the noise. I was like, oh, wait a second. I guess I could use this. I can spin this real quick. But nah, man, you know, so, you know, military, it wasn't that, it just came down to hard work, man. It came down to working hard. And, you know, making it work for me, you know, instead of me working for it, you know.
Well, look, because I know when I first met you and stuff, you were going by the moniker Blake Broadway. You was very arrogant. And even though people don't you're not that person anymore. You've outgrown that. I thought that was, at the time when I met you, I was like, that's not even a stretch of the imagination. Like, that's kind of who he is in real life. He's arrogant and he's loud and he's reckless with other people's bodies. But now you've grown and you've morphed into JJ Blake. And I guess we can say a huge shout out to Booker T and the powers that be at Reality of Wrestling for bringing this persona out of you. What is the difference between JJ Blake and Blake Broadway?
I have a catchphrase now. That's about it. You know, everything you hear, like anything you watch of anyone, whether it be Jim Cornette or Stone Cold, you know, even those like the wrestling podcasts, and even just, oh look, they're doing an interview with Dwayne Johnson, you know, how to get ready for this role. Anybody, they always tell you they're just a turned up version of themselves. You know, and that's why it's important to find something that fits you, that you aren't uncomfortable in. I've seen a dude, I went to an ROH seminar, and there's this dude, I hate it because I don't remember his name. I wish I knew who he was because it's so long ago. It was like 2012, I think. And he is doing this crazy kung fu, Bruce Lee, martial law, and Tekken gimmick where he had the freaking pants and the G belt thingy or whatever. And old boy was over there. I swear to God, I was watching Enter the Dragon or something. I was watching Drunken Fist, like everything. And I was just like, that was the best thing ever. And there's no way he would have been able to do that if he didn't believe it.
Was that Tadarius Thomas? Was that Tadarius Thomas, I think, that was doing that gimmick back then?
It might be. Thomas sounds familiar, yeah. It might be, yeah. Because, you know, we was doing the seminar. We're not sitting there doing introductions and this and that. So, you know, you might hear the guy's name once, but that's about it. So that might be him, man.
Wow. Well, look, I got a bunch of stuff to talk to you about, but I'm going to turn it over to my co-host. She's the lover of waffles. She's the voice of the speech impediment. She is the receiver of all things unsolicited. Ladies and gentlemen, Mika Villas.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, you know, you broke his nose. You broke his nose, and I'm responsible now, or I get the responses because people don't want to get punched in the face by him. They send me all the pics. They probably really, truly want to send him. So, you know, I just hold on to those for safekeeping and, you know, FBI fingerprinting and analysis later.
Oh, yeah.
So, reality wrestling, and I am totally, completely new to you, so I've been, like, trying to do my research, do my checking, and what have you, so I get you did a change in personas, and was that in Texas with Booker T's promotion, or was that something that you picked up along the way and kind of perfected and refined it there in Texas?
All reality of wrestling.
So,
Texas, straight up Texas.
So, anybody who's just now brand new tuning in, turning on reality wrestling and seeing JJ Blake, what is something that you want them to just know from the jump about JJ Blake?
I'm the champion of all television, baby. I'm the champion of every single television in the world. I'm the champion of the televisions in Austria. I'm the television champion in China. Okay, down there in Hungary, I'm the champion televisions there too. Ethiopia, there. If Wakanda was a real place, I'll be champion televisions there. I'm the champion of all televisions. Flat out.
All televisions? Are we talking about, like, you know, as well as computer screens? Because they do
If it is
phones.
a screen with my face on it, okay, if it's Netflix and chill, Hulu and do you, Vimeo, I don't care which one it is. If it's in the International Space Station, okay, they're looking through the little window, looking at Earth, and they got a little screen next to them, YouTube, my face on it, champion of it. Now, okay, fast forward to 2015, January 14th, or 17th around, second weekend, January, came down here and a spot opened up on the show. So Booker was like, come here, kid. You won. You're going to go wrestle Shawn Hendricks. And went out there and like, what's your wrestling name? Blake Broadway, sir. I don't like it. What's with the glasses? I just wanted them into the ring. I don't like those either. We need a new name for you. And the next month I was back there. He didn't say nothing else about it. The next month, he just said, hey, give me some names, y'all. And everyone says ignorant stuff. Tyrone. Oh, they call him Jamal. The usual nonsense. And he just kicks back and, JJ, we'll call you JJ Blake, and you're going to be Dynamite. Yeah. And he does his Booker laugh because he has a lot of fun sometimes. So, but the conclusion I came to was he was watching Good Times and the night before and just went, hey, I want some guy yelling Dynamite on my show, and I think this guy can do it. So that's where the hat came from. He went and bought me a few hats. And say, I want you to wear a hat, get rid of those goofy glasses, and here's the hat. In parentheses, I put in my head the goofy hat. Because it was just, I was just like, it was just funny. It was like, sending the glasses out for the hat or whatever. And it was so funny because everyone was just kind of looking at me like, oh man, oh he's mad, oh he got reassigned or what, I don't know. Like people, cause how people get. And the thing is, that's usually a test, and it was never confirmed to me, but I assume that it was a test like, hey, if we get this, give this to this guy, can he do it? Or is he just going to be, I want to be this, blah, 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 and I was like, all right, challenge accepted. And, I made it work, and I'm still making it work, and I'm always going to make it work because, that's the challenges of what we do in this business. If you go anywhere worth being, someone might tell you, we want this from you, explicitly this, and you got to be able to change and morph into that and not miss a beat and whatnot. So, here I am.
I like the hats, and now that you say the whole Good Times tie-in, it makes sense. I mean, clearly, TV One was on in the T household, and you're benefiting, you're reaping the benefits of this. I think Jimmy Walker's dead, so rest in peace. Okay. Speaking of dead and resting in peace, I'm gonna let you talk back to Huckabee. I mean, you punched him in the face a couple times, and then you would tell about it. That's awesome. Again, you're my new favorite.
The story evolved.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wrestling Nerdcast brought to you on the Angry Marks Podcast Network. Send a huge shout out once again to our sponsors over there at Indie Customs. Be sure to check them out on Facebook. Like them on Facebook. Follow them on Twitter. While you're at it, while you're on the computer, be sure to check out our friends at Pro Wrestling World. Like their Facebook page, check out what they got going on. As usual, like I said before, I'm still enjoying my drink in my Indie Customs cup. Still drinking on my Seagram's Gin and Cranberry. But we're here with our guest tonight, JJ Blake. Now, JJ, I want to talk to you about something serious, man, because I wouldn't be a good journalist if I didn't talk to you about this. And you know what I'm about to say, right?
Nah, man, I don't have the
You know what I'm about to say? Because we've been friends for a long time, and it really didn't bother me. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. He still can't throw a shoulder tackle, and I think I put it on that status. When
you did
when you came out. I hate that phrase. Can you give me a different phrase other than "come out"? Is there a different phrase for that? Reveal to the world. Is there a different phrase?
Nah, man, not really. That's just the socially accepted thing. You got to really kind of go with that. You capturing the conversation, just saying it in passing. I like to play a game where I say something outrageous. Not outrageous. Well, I actually might say something outrageous, like just something completely off the wall. So if someone's not paying attention to the conversation, Oh, man, it depends on my mood, man. You know, sometimes if I'm getting really annoyed if someone's sitting there, yo, that she got a fat blah, 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 blah. 'Cause I don't like when guys degrade women. It kind of annoys me when people like, not degrade, well, yeah, degrade, but like, objectify, that's the word, objectify women in front of me, excessively. Like, if it's, you know, oh, she's good looking, whatever. Oh, man, she's fine. Okay, cool. But they just going on and on and on. You know, I'll just literally look up and say, man, that dude got a nice butt, man. Jesus Christ. What?
And there we go.
That's funny, man. What'd you say?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't figured out by now, we're going to say our guest tonight is openly gay. And I said,
I'm a homo. I like that better, bro. I'm a homo.
Okay.
Hey, I'm a homo, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, whatever. You know, ladies and gentlemen, he's a homo.
Did he say homeowner? What? Okay,
he totally did not say homeowner. Like I said, it didn't bother me because when you made and I will say that when you came out to the entire wrestling or the entire world, it was a very heartfelt, very heartstringing post and stuff, man. And I'm reading it and I'm like, and for a second I kind of got glassy eyed, but I was like, motherfucker still can't do a shoulder tackle.
He's sitting there glassy eyed with junk. Hey, I see you.
But,
I can envision that perfectly.
but I want to ask you, man, how, because, you know, professional wrestling is a very male-dominated sport. It's a very macho, manly sport. Being a gay male and being a black gay man in professional wrestling, do you find any difficulties? Do you find, you know, do you ever encounter any homophobia, any racist homophobia? How is your life, you know, in the locker room?
Well, man, you know, I actually haven't come across anything really negative, man. I mean, I'm talking like, I think I've been called a faggot once, and I'm pretty sure the kid didn't know. I think he was just being a little snot-nosed kid. But it was so funny because he said it, and this is actually before, actually. This is before. No. This was back in, no, this is twice then. This was once in North Dakota. Oh, no, he says the N-word. Never mind. Okay. The kid here in Texas, he, in 20,
wow, man, just
16
nobody
or
likes
16.
you.
Nah, man. That kid, he was just like, "You're a faggot." Like, he just said it super, like, obnoxiously. I looked at him like, man, you just like saying that word. And he's a little fat little kid, too, so I let him know. I told him about himself. I think I said his mom didn't think so, and everybody, of course, lost their stuff. But, you know, nah, man, the locker room, man, surprisingly, you know, that's the thing I didn't know, how people would take it. And it was so horrible because I lived 3 separate lives pretty much. My private life, with this included, was for my friends from high school and stuff like that. And then my Air Force military life, it was that separated to that. And then it was my wrestling life separated to that. And I kept this in the third of the me section. So I was surprised to see all the sentiment up there, you know, all the heartfelt, congrats and you know, we don't care. And the thing is with what you're saying, if someone did feel like that, if someone did have something to say about it, they probably block me or erase me off the Facebook, and I would never know the difference. But I think the reason why I haven't had it come to me face to face is most likely because I have what I like to call straight privilege. A little sidebar. So whenever people say the privilege in general, the word privilege, people get all, oh, damn, bad, you got privilege. They get all stupid about it. No, privilege is a thing. Privilege is like, you know, you have the privilege of not dealing with something. And for me, I don't have to deal with being called gay slurs. I don't have to deal with people, you know, with signs and stuff or disrespecting me, surprisingly. And again, I say surprisingly because, you know, I totally thought there has to be at least one. But I think it's because I have straight privilege. I call it straight privilege because I had to convince people. I had to be like, yo, like, this is how I am. No, you're not, bro.
What?
This is
So
how
you mean
I
to tell
am.
me?
Nah, bro.
So you mean to tell me that nobody, like, when you came out and said, no, listen, I'm gay, and there were people who were like, whatever, man. No, you're not. Get the hell out of here. Like, you're not gay. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I know gay people.
Oh, yeah.
I know gay people, and you're not gay.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what it comes down to. You don't have good fashion. You don't have a lot of girlfriends. There's no way that you are. Like, you're nothing. You know, I'm just like, all right, cool. Well, I guess I'll just sit here on this dating app with all these guys on it, and I'll just sit here and just, I guess, chill and let you do you. Oh, for real? You know, I literally have to be like, you want to see my phone? Want to go to my text messages real quick? Like, I legit got to convince some people. And it's not so much anymore because everyone pretty much knows, but, like, it's just funny because people have such strong assumptions when they see you, just you're the book by its cover,
Well,
They
because
got such strong assumptions.
and that's because and no offense to him whatsoever, because I love the guy. Simon Sermon, who's a wrestler in Georgia, is out. I want to say he was one of the first gay professional wrestlers, like out in the open, gay professional wrestler. So he's very loud, he's very, very flamboyant in and out of the ring, and you are the complete opposite. I guess. For Mika, because Mika, even though Mika's from Chicago, from the south side of Chicago, she's not really from the south side of Chicago, if you get my drift. Mika, where I'm from, guys like Blake will be called a homo thug. Where it's like he's gay, but he'll beat your ass. Like it
We just like to call him fierce. You just leave that fierce man right there alone, and you're going to get your ass whooped.
But I mean, yeah, it's true though. That's exactly how it is. Unfortunately, it's just like that. At certain places I'll be called this, certain places I'll be called that. But I don't know, man. It's 2018 now, man, and it's so under the radar now these days that I think that's mainly the reason why there's no dialogue about it or people bring it up because for one, and it's funny because like I'm a trainer down at Booker's or whatever. And one of the biggest things that I was just so tired of was keeping me to myself, like never acting the way I act or, just being all whatever. Like, let me make sure I don't, look at someone too long in front of this, whatever it is. I can go through a list of things that last me a day. I always had to go out of my way to like not be myself. Now, like my friends would, they'll Ryan Davidson or Rob Barnes, like they'll say, and they'd be casting me too. They'd be casting me when I'm like just whatever. They'll say a joke, and I look at them, and then it clicks. I'm like, man, you mother, man, get out of here, bro. Like, and it's so just awesome to be able to be myself. And the thing is, my trainees, I'll subtly tell them when because I handle all the training and stuff, and I'll just let them know. Because I my spiel, I give them the whole dating in the business spiel, and I'm like, hey, man, if you want to go date, go on Tinder or Grindr, and I'll say Grindr because that's the gay version of Tinder, and if they know, they'll catch on like, why did he say that? And then they'll kind of like be whatever, so it won't be a shock to them, or sometimes they won't know. So it's like I just do it like that subtly, and then I'll walk in and somebody will say something to me, and I'll like yell something super gay, and then it's like, oh, okay, well that makes sense, and then that's the end of that or whatever. But it's definitely nice to not have to really be sitting there worrying, oh, what if people find out? What if people don't listen to me if they find out? Like it's that's kind of the big thing that you got to deal with. That some people would just be weird about it. They just literally be like, oh man, like, nah, I'm not gonna listen to him because he's a homo, like he's gay, whatever, he's queer. Like people just be like that for whatever reason. They just have an issue, either just because they have their own internalized issues with it. But people do have those issues, and I just haven't had to deal with it. So hey,
well,
whatever.
speaking about having to deal with something, I'm gonna turn it back over for the last time to somebody that now that all of our fans know, and now that she knows, y'all have a lot of things in common. I'm pretty sure you both get a lot of unsolicited messages from your fans and admirers. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mika Villas.
Wow. Okay. I was going to say we probably have some of the same ones. That'd be interesting to compare and contrast. But let's go another route. So being in this business, it's hard to just kind of maintain like sometimes your sense of self. And you say you give a speech about dating in the business. Give me a snippet of that speech. What do you tell, the greenies and or the trainees about dating in the business, and do you apply it to yourself, or is there some breaking of the rule?
Well, I mean, the thing is, when it comes to the training aspect, we got something really special going on down here. I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff that we just posted like just last week, but we got some deals going on, and we're with Fight TV. WrestleZone's covering us now. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And at the very, very ground-based level of it, it's myself, Rob Barnes, Gino, and Ryan Davidson, we basically run, we pretty much, run the school for Booker, because Booker obviously can't be there 24/7, and we're his trainers, and, we make sure we get what he wants, his vision out there. So with that being said, we don't need no drama down there. We don't need no drama. We don't need no extra stuff. And if you know anything about the wrestling business, there's always some extra stuff. There's always somebody, dating somebody's girl or something or whatever. You know what? All that nonsense. And then you got people that can't work together. And then when they got the drama and you're messing with my girl, then the other person hurts the other guy in the ring. And, you did that on purpose because I just don't have time for that. I want to get these guys in here. I want to show them what Booker expects. I want them to learn what reality wrestling expects of them. And I want to get them out there and get them on the show. If you go to look at our show, I guarantee you it should be at least one match, a show, that you can see and be like, hey, who's that guy? Oh, we trained him from the ground up. Oh, he looks pretty good. We got a lot of guys like that are good and go there, go anywhere, and have a good showing and not look bad. So we can't be having that. So when I sit them down, I kind of, give them the whole thing. I let them know, hey, things are this way other places, but this is how we do them here. And then when we get to that part, I said, all right, and I got to say this because, I wouldn't say it if it hadn't already happened. And this is what it comes from experience anyway. You're here to train. You're not here to date. I know you see a lot of pretty women here. I know you see women that have your same interests. You're not here to date. You're here to learn how to wrestle. Right outside those doors, and I'll point to the doors, there are 7.3 billion people outside those doors that you can go date. So go find one of them and keep this separate. I'll keep it at that base level, And then when later on, when they're here for a little bit, they might ask me or they might bring it up, give them the whole spiel. Like, hey, man, first off, you're training. You don't want to sit here and be distracted and stuff like that. And that's another thing is I've been in places where there was relationships going on, whether it's between the trainer and the trainee, those guys, they do whatever they want and they run wild and they, and then all the guys are like, oh, he or she is, doing the training, whatever. You get all that animosity there. It's not good for learning. It's not good for building camaraderie. It's not good for building a foundation on, and if that doesn't happen, if it's just not that, then, when you date in the locker room, then, you find the people that literally, okay, like merry-go-round. I'm not saying that about any particular sex. I'm just saying in general, someone's the merry-go-round. Someone's dating every person. Someone, and then the reason I just had to specify who I was talking about. Then you have all the blame going to the woman or whoever it is. Most times the woman, if it's something else or whatever. But the guy, he's just doing whatever. The girl, she's a whore. Then you got all that. It's just I want to see that stop in the wrestling business because that's something that's really runs amok where we kind of vilify these relationships and they call the woman a whore because she dates around, but we don't say nothing to the guy. So that's the main goal, Then personally, as far as I go, I definitely have the rule of not dating in the business because I don't need that in my life. I don't need that drama. But it's funny because I don't even know how that would go because, the chances of that actually happening are pretty much zero. And if it was to happen, I don't even think I could, I could see myself rationalizing like, oh man, there's no way you can like make any drama out of this. It's just you and that guy. And the next thing I know, freaking a year and a half later, I'm, freaking dated 4 different people or something. So no. So I just tell that to myself and then I just go ahead and politely decline to do any of that. Not that I had the opportunity to anyway.
It sounds like you got the polite decline ready to go just in case you get an offer that you need to refuse. I like that.
I've never gotten an offer. That's the thing. I hate it because people are always like, they be saying like, oh, anyone sliding your DMs and this and that. And besides just random people, no one ever slides in my DMs. No one's ever whatever. I know a couple. I know a small handful of guys that are in the business, and it's totally professional. We don't really, unsolicited, peeing pics in the inbox at 12:01 at midnight and nothing like that.
That's that's prime time. That's prime time for Mika right there. 12:01. That's
I know it.
That's prime time for Mika and all her unsolicited stuff. So turns out, Mika, you're still the undisputed queen of unsolicited.
Oh yay!
Oh, I get my
I'm
share,
so
just not
excited.
from wrestlers. That's all. You can probably definitely compare notes. Like, I never said I didn't get any. Like, no, like, And I hate it because you're sitting there minding your own business, and then bam, whatever, peen, or in my case, there's a button on my phone. I'm like, okay, all right, guys, okay, let's go ahead and stop this. And it's like the caption will be, hey. What do you mean, hey? Hey what? Hey what, ho? What do you mean? Like, I be getting so mad. I'm just like, why you just get off my phone, bro? Like, I'm over here playing my Xbox right now.
There you go. What are you playing on Xbox?
Girl, I've been on this Dragon Age, like the Inquisition one. Like, I'm way behind. Like, I can't figure out new video games no more. Like Call of Duty, I gave up on Advanced Warfare. I was like, I can't do this no more. So I'm just like playing all these old games now, and Marvel's Capcom 2, Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Like, I'm just so in the freaking the Pokemon Sapphire. Every now and then, if I can find my DS, I lose it every for a few weeks. I lose my DS, so I just say whatever and play something else. I've been playing SimCity again. Like, I need Jesus.
Wow.
I need Jesus.
Wow. You need an intervention for real. He broke out the Sims.
These games too complicated. There's just too much going on with these games nowadays. I don't have time to be learning 18 different controls for 18 different games.
Okay, hold on. You talked about military clearance, and you have an issue with video games? This is what's wrong with our country now.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
Hey, wait.
That Modern Warfare 2 now. What's up?
Okay. We'll talk. I'm sorry.
I didn't say place. I didn't say take me back to PlayStation. Okay, I just said take me back to like 5 years ago. That's all.
Okay. All right. I'll let it go for now because people get serious about their video games, and Will get serious about his service. I won't even talk about him. Calm your nerves down. And speaking of calm nerves and old people, I'm going to let Will go ahead and wrap this up. It's past his bedtime.
Whatever. Mika already knows she's the oldest person on this podcast. Anyway, like we said earlier, JJ, you live in Texas now, but you made your bones in the Mid-Atlantic and stuff, and every once in a while, you come back to Virginia and the Mid-Atlantic area and you wrestle and stuff, man. How is it? Do you feel like a stranger when you come back to the Mid-Atlantic and wrestle, or do you feel like you're coming home?
Man, everything is familiar to me. I done been in North Dakota, down here in Texas, Virginia, Mid-Atlantic. I know, 85 like the back of my hand. I know 69 north. I know I-10 east-west. I know 95 north-south. I know 13 in Delaware. In Maryland and stuff, Highway 1, Delaware, Jersey Turnpike, all those things are familiar to me, man. It's definitely like a coming home. Kind of like I'm trying to think, man. I'm pretty sure there is a movie out there somewhere, but whatever Clint Eastwood movie there is, he rides back to the old town he used to be in, and he got to go, rid of thieves and stuff. But, yeah, man, it's definitely just familiar coming back, especially since I go back to Vanguard Championship Wrestling so much. I'm going back there on February 3rd, Sonic Temple, I believe we're in again. And I'm going back there to face Phil Brown for the Liberty Championship and whatnot, So,
again?
Oh, no, this is the first time. If this happened before, I would have been at that.
Hold on, but I'm saying, but you and Phil have had matches before, though.
Oh, yeah. We've gone a few times, man. Yeah, we've gone a few times. Me and Phil got a little bit of history there, So, we're going to see how this one turns out because he's kind of salty at me right now. So it kind of cost my match. May or may not have.
Now, I know our time with you was running very short and stuff, man, because you're a very busy person and everything. But I got to know, one more question I got to know and stuff, man. It's like, when you come back to the Mid-Atlantic, do Phil and PQ and the Denny's and everybody and Mike Booth, do they all treat you like you're still, the greenhorn that was running around or whatever, or they kind of treat you like you're an equal, like, oh, snap, it's Blake, like, oh, it's JJ, just came back from Texas, he works with Booker, like, oh, shit.
It's funny. I actually haven't seen Booth in a while. I don't even know if he remembers me in our last interaction, but I'm pretty sure he's still not thrilled with me. Not that I care. And PQ, I only talk to him on Facebook, but me and him go back and forth, man. So there's definitely like a different level of treatment there, because we just kind of banter back and forth now in a friendly way. And Damian Wayne, just want to switch out right there. Damian Wayne is probably the best example of it. because Damien taught me stuff. Phil taught me stuff, you know. Phil, and when I come up there, it's like, oh snap, it's Jay up, Blake is back, whatever. I see Damien in any locker room I go to, Damien, JJ, what's up, man? We give each other a big old hug and stuff, man. I love Damian Wayne to death, you know. He speaking of like, Clint Eastwood, that voice he has, that raspy, just country southern voice, and he's like trying to tell you something.
Hey, what's up, man?
So good.
Hey,
just
Blake.
Shut up and work. He used to talk a lot in the ring and stuff.
He sounds like this, like, hey man, listen, you'd be really good if you just kind of slow down, quit driving.
Slow down. Yeah, that's everybody. But yeah, man, everybody go back and when I see him, they're all, hey, what's up, man? I was texting and stuff. They definitely treat me like, I went out and did something. I'm glad they do because, for me, I'm just doing this. I'm grinding away. I'm doing my thing. It's just I wake up and do this every day, so I'm not sitting back and looking at my progress from afar. So it's nice when I see old faces and they hey, man, I saw you doing this in Texas. That's awesome, this and that. I love it. It's just cool to go back and kind of see where I came from, man, 'cause that's the important thing. You can't ever forget where you come from. That's those people, man. No one likes those guys that just forget where they came from and stuff.
Exactly, man. And I'll tell you what, man. I'm gonna say it now, and I'll say it on my own show, and I'll put you over, man. I'm super proud of you. From where you were when I first met you at NEW in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, when you just showed up. When you just showed up trying to get Spout in the show, and I saw you work, and I was like, hey, this kid is money. Book this kid as much as possible, and they really didn't listen to me. To where you are now is incredible, and I'm super proud of you, man. I just want to let you know that I'm proud,
I appreciate it.
That I cherish our friendship, even if you did break my nose.
Bro, man, keep on talking about that broken nose, man. I got hitters out there still. All right.
Once this show's over with, man, I promise you, I will never mention the broken nose again. Okay, because
you got to, man. You got to. You got to keep on mentioning it, man. It won't be right if you don't.
Well, look, like I said, I know our time with you is running very short, but you've already mentioned that on my birthday, you're not going to be anywhere close to me. You're going to be, at VCW in Virginia. And I know you live in Texas, but for all of our fans and listeners, go ahead, give us all your social media. Let us know where they can follow you, where they can reach you at, where they can connect you at, where they can send you all things unsolicited, and where they'll see you at the upcoming weeks.
All right, man. Well, shoot, man. Let's start with the social media. Double J Blake. You already tagged me in that post there for the for the podcast itself. Double J Blake. That's my Instagram. That's my Twitter. I do respond to stuff. So if you I don't respond to unsolicited. Let me clarify. But I do respond to any and all other messages. So
Mika responds, ladies and gentlemen. Mika responds to unsolicited messages.
Oh yeah, I like to ask them exactly how cold it is where they are, and do they have anything life size and not miniature.
Oh Lord. Anyway, all right. So Double J Blake out there on the Twitter, Double J Blake on the Instagram, whatnot. This upcoming Saturday, I'm tagging Rob Barnes down in Branded Outlaw Wrestling. I believe that's down in San Antonio. Then February, first weekend, first Saturday, I'm going to be in Virginia again, Norfolk, Virginia, of the Vanguard Championship Wrestling. And then every second Saturday of the month, I'll be down here in Texas City for Reality of Wrestling, our TV tapings down in Texas City, or every second Saturday. We film 4 shows. It's nothing you've ever seen before. Booker will be there. Definitely got to check it out, and definitely the Fight Network as well. The Fight Network is where we can be seen. I believe right now our time slot is 3 p.m. Eastern on Sundays on the Fight Network or live streams. You can get on there, and it's a live chat. You can say whatever you want. You can dump on me. You can dump on Rob. You can dump on Gino. You can dump on whoever you want to. So definitely check out the Fight app. Download the Fight app today. Got all kinds of good stuff on it.
Well, there you go, man. I'll tell you what, man. You are a great representative of Reality of Wrestling, and if Booker T if he doesn't appreciate you as a representative, as an employee, damn it, after this interview, he better. Don't make, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, thanks for being on this show tonight, man. I appreciate it. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna drop a clue, but I'm not gonna drop a clue. But I'll be seeing you in the next month or two.
Mm-hmm. All right. I can only imagine Rob be seeing you at.
Just get a video of the shoulder tackle. That's all I'm saying. If it hits the nose again, It hit the nose again.
If
I'll
you
make you some gifts.
if he breaks my nose again in the match, I will never. I will post it every day about how he broke my nose twice, and that he is the worst wrestler ever. But
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it, man. Shoot,
But
you know how
anyway,
that stuff goes.
who you telling? Well, look, JJ, thanks for being the guest of the show, man. We'll catch you on down the line, all right?
All right, man. Thanks for having me on the show, man. It's nice meeting you, and you know, it's always cool catching up with you. So shoot, man, Miss Mika, Mr. Will, you know, thank you for having me on this show. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, man. Put in a good word for us with Booker and stuff, man. We need to be the official podcast for the row.
Hey, if Charmel needs to get any crowns, I will take any of your crowns from Queen Charmel. I'm just saying. I'm just a princess. I'm not a queen yet.
Some stuff, man. She might have some, man. But yeah, man, let me know if you want to talk to any of the boys, man. You're always welcome down. If you want to come down here and do one in person, man, I got you. I'll find you a little spot in the arena somewhere.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I promise I'll leave Mika at home.
You better stop, bro.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, all right?
All right, take care.
All right, bye. Mika.
Yes.
What's up? I told you, man. JJ's amazing. It's my homie, man. He's so cool.
People who are your friends are, you know, like, we're a special breed in ourselves. So that's amazing. JJ was he is really, truly my new favorite. I mean, seriously. I'm sorry about your nose and all. That's a great story, but man, I wish he had said, you know, I kind of did it on purpose. That would have made it even better.
You know, like, the worst part about that whole thing is that me having a broken nose is not even the worst of that, like, the worst part of that entire weekend of that road trip.
Wow.
It was the fact that, like, me, him, and Joe were, like, cramped in the back of, like, a 96 Nissan Sentra. Like, I mean, like, we were cramped in the back of the car. And, like, Jason Kincaid drove from Illinois to West Virginia nonstop by himself. Like, he just stopped for gas, and that was it. Like, it was so many other things that happened on that road trip that I would have to tell you off the air. That made the broken nose seem like nothing. Trust and believe. But JJ's a good guy. I like JJ.
Yeah, he was really nice, really forthcoming, and again, we talk to these people, and JJ's one of these people who is inspiring, because even though, you know, when you get out here in wrestling, you play a character, but it is a version of yourself. Here he is now being his most true self. You know, nothing's being held back. He's letting people know that, hey, yes, he said, I'm a homo. There's no reason that should be a stigma for anybody to be like, oh, well, he's this. He's a person. He's a wrestler. First and foremost, he's a hell of a talent. I've watched his stuff. None of the extras matter. It's who he is as a person that should matter. Who he is when he steps out there in that ring between those ropes, that matters. And that's, again, inspiring for people who are not quite comfortable with who they are, whether it be a sexual orientation, whether it be a physical limitation or something they perceive to be a deficit. That is another person who's inspiring you to just be yourself, whoever yourself is. I like that.
Exactly. Like I said, I mean, like, you know, for this show, I know there's like a million wrestlers that we can have on this podcast and stuff. But like I told you off the air and stuff, like I told you at CW, like, I like to have guests who have stories, people who have something to say, people who have a life outside of wrestling. And JJ is one of those guys. It's like, he has such a great story. He's a military vet. He's gay. He's a gay black male. He is a gay black male in a male dominant super macho business or sport, or whatever you want to call it.
He's down in Texas. Texas is a tough state for
yes.
in general. And, you know, like, to just kind of be out there in Houston, I mean, these cattle ranchers and saddle hands or whatever the heck they call themselves out there. I mean, that's a tough thing to do. And again, you've got to have not just a tough exterior, but be strong mentally as well. And again, that's somebody who I consider a role model, who you can look at that strength that they have and to stand up for anything and any obstacles in their way.
You know what, Mika? I hate you now.
Why?
Because I missed the perfect opportunity, and you just reminded me of a joke I was going to say. And I had to. Hopefully, he listens to this podcast. And if you're listening, JJ, I was going to call you JJ Brokeback Mountain Broadway or Blake. Because he's from Texas, Cowboys, nothing from Texas is steers and queers. It just turns out that like he's a queer. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean. First of all, don't think that I'm homophobic. Like JJ Blake is one of my closest friends in professional wrestling, even though I don't see him all the time. So don't be like messaging me or like trying to petition the show, or whatever, saying that hey, Will Huckabee and the Wrestling Nerdcast is homophobic or whatever, because we're totally not. We support everybody, except for ugly people. We don't support ugly people. That's about it. If you're ugly, just stay away from us. We even support people who send unsolicited pictures to Mika. I mean, how much more open arm can you get? Anyways,
no words.
I bet you do. I bet you do have some words, Mika, because I'm about to ask you this coming weekend, what do you have going on, Mika? And where can all of our fans and listeners follow you at to find out what you got going on?
Follow me, stalk me, see my social medias, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. It's all Mika, Mika Villas, V like victory, ILLAS. This weekend, I'm going to hit up Thursday night. I believe I'm going to slide into the WWA 4 Arena free show here in Atlanta, run by AR Fox. Just came out from New York doing an Evolve show with some of his students. We're on the, I believe, Styles Battles. There was a title change there. David Ali is no longer the internet champion. So I'm going to check that out and see what happened up in New York while I was out at PWX. That's Thursday. Friday is a new promotion opening up in the Chattanooga area. Chat Pro is running on Friday. I'm going to jump in a car with some of the boys, some of the girls, and head out there to Tennessee and check out this brand new promotion. I've got some names on there that I know and love their work. So I'm gonna do that, and then Sunday is QOC, Queens of Combat. Boys and girls, I talk about wrestling and I really love it, but this is going to be fantastic. Queens of Combat is a tournament style where there are the best professional women on the planet.
Is Jessica Havoc going to be there?
Show up and find out. I can tell you that the only Su Yung will be defending her Queens of Combat title there in North Carolina. So that is the place to be and the place to be seen and the place to absolutely positively see some of the hardest hitting women in the world right there, right in your backyard. 4-hour drive for us. Doesn't matter. We're going to be there.
What in the world? This weekend, I got a short weekend. I was just going to be Saturday at Mount Airy. I'm in Mount Airy, North Carolina, Veterans Museum Coliseum, the AIWF 26th anniversary show. I'm opening the show in a 4-way tag team match with my homeboy to get bundles that you've met before, Mika. You've met my homie Buns. We're gonna open the show in a 4-way tag team match, and then I'm gonna close the show defending my AIWF World Heavyweight title. The winner of the AIWF Legacy Royal Rumble gets a title shot that night. So I get the open. It's like Jay-Z. It's like grand opening, grand closing. I really wasn't planning on doing nothing Sunday, but now that you mentioned Queens of Combat is going on in Carolina, and I'm going to be right in that area, I might check it out, because we both know that next week on this show, we have the one and only Su Yung. So I don't know. We might be able to get a soundbite from Sue Young before we actually have her as a guest on the show. I don't know. And maybe Jessica Havoc will be there, which would be super, super exciting. Anyway, anything else you want to plug, Mika?
Oh, check out we're coming back, the FLW Radio podcast that I do. We've been on a slight hiatus. We will be coming back bigger, faster, stronger. But in the meantime, check out our archives over on Podbean and catch what you missed. We've done some interviews. We've talked some smack about Raw, SmackDown, Impact. Lots of signings happening recently. We'll leave those alone for right now, but we're gonna pick that up and cover it as we get into back into the swing of things. And yeah, that's it. I'm on a wrestling high still, so I'm gonna calm down and gear up for next weekend.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm about to say I really don't have anything else. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is your host, the Incredible Huck, Will Huckabee, on behalf of our network, who is gracious enough to let us do this each and every week for you, the listeners and the viewing public. Be sure to check us out, the Angry Marks Wrestling Podcast Network. I'm sorry, the Angry Marks Podcast Network. I'm sorry. Check us out on iTunes. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. On behalf of our sponsors, Indie Customs, be sure to definitely check them out. And be sure to go to Indie Customs and buy a t-shirt from Indie Custom sponsor athlete TJ Balls, who is recovering from a very brutal match versus those dastardly ugly ducklings. Be sure to buy a shirt and help support him as an independent wrestler. On behalf of our friends at Pro Wrestling World, you ready, Mika? Hold on. Let me take one more sip of my Seagram's Distillers Reserve Gin and Cranberry in my Indie Customs cup.
Your adult Seagram's wine cooler that you've doctored up. I got you.
Exactly. All right, I'm gonna try it. On behalf of our producer, the one and only my A Spoon Coon, A1 since day one, my boy CW. Be sure to hit him up, CW Smith, on social media if you need any kind of graphics, wrestling. If you're a wrestler and you want some really cool, personalized pictures, if you're a wrestling company and you need a flyer. If you need custom actual graphics because you're on the Fight Network TV, a lot of his work has been seen on the Fight TV app. So check out our producer CW Smith. Hit him up for all of your graphic needs. Anyway, on behalf of my co-host, the lover of waffles, the voice of the speech impediment, the idolater of affection, Mrs. Hashtag What That Mouth Do, one half of the world's cutest commentary team, co-host on the FOW Wrestling Podcast on the Podbean Network. I am your AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, the AIWF Mega Heavyweight Champion, the World Wrestling Grand Prix Champion, the IWA North Carolina Heavyweight Champion, and the new Firestar Pro Wrestling Zone 1 Heavyweight Champion. The Mid-Atlantic Bully, the disrespectful intellectual, the Southern Gentleman, the Morning Star, the Incredible Huck, Will Huckabee, saying peace out and support indie wrestling.
Bye.
You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.